Happy New Year, everybody. It's your boy TG. Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we are going to recap the top 10 NHL moments of 2024. So 2024, December 2024, a lot of great NHL moments, such as number one being the NHL's Winter Classic being played on New Year's Eve with the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the St. Louis Blues at Wrigley Field. And then Patrick Kane reaching 1,300 career points. Macklin celebrating his homecoming debut in Vancouver, and a lot of other stuff to say. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this PowerPoint for today. As soon as it loads. Okay, so first off, like I said, Happy New Year. 2024 is over. The calendar has hit 2025. Another thing, make sure you go like and subscribe to the TG Hockey channel, and make sure that you're following the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on all your podcast streaming platforms, so on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. It airs from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you are tuning in to each episode I put out of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Of course, there was no episode out today because it was New Year's Day. There's only one NHL game on the slate for today, and that was the New Jersey Devils taking on the LA Kings. So 2012 Stanley Cup Final rematch right there, and the Kings had the 3-0 shutout win over the Devils today. So that was basically it. So there was no episode of Hockey Talk TG podcast today. I will put one out Friday, so make sure, like I said, that you're staying tuned to that, and make sure that you're following the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. The number one thing of 2024, the 2025 NHL Winter Classic. I know that's kind of hard to understand why it's the 2025 NHL Winter Classic being played on New Year's Eve of 2024. Usually it's played on every January 1st of the new year. So when I first heard it was going to be played on New Year's Eve, I was like, why are they doing this? And it makes it more confusing to like other people. So I get if this is confusing to some of you. It was confusing to me at first, but yeah, it was played on New Year's Eve. It was with the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the St. Louis Blues, and it was a rematch of the 2017 NHL Winter Classic that was played at Busch Stadium, which is home to the MLB's St. Louis Cardinals, and the Blues won 4-1 in that game. And at Wrigley Field, which is home to the MLB's Chicago Cubs, the Blues won 6-2 in this game. So, second NHL Winter Classic being held at Wrigley Field. Of course, the first one was in 2009, and the Red Wings won 6-4 against the Blackhawks. And of course, I did put out a short recap video on my Hockey Talk with TG podcast YouTube channel, recapping the NHL Winter Classic. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure you go ahead and check that out. Obviously, Blackhawks are now 0-5 when it comes to winning classic games. Blues remain perfect. They're 3-0. And Cam Fowler, he got to play in his 1,000th career NHL game, and he scored 2 goals in his 1,000th career NHL game. And he is the first NHL player to play his 1,000th career NHL game in the Winter Classic. No NHL player has played their 1,000th career NHL game in the Winter Classic. So Cam Fowler becomes the first NHL player to play his 1,000th career NHL game in a Winter Classic. Now, as a Blackhawks fan, I knew the Blues were going to win this Winter Classic game. And the Blackhawks were going to lose because the Blackhawks haven't just suck when it comes to Winter Classics, and the Blues were definitely the better team in this one. But other than the loss, I kind of still enjoyed it in a way, and it was nice to see the Winter Classic come back to Wrigley Field. Of course, Wrigley Field is iconic baseball field. It is well known. Obviously, we all knew that. It's been around since 1914, so just an iconic baseball stadium right there, and obviously a large baseball stadium, by the way. So really enjoyed the Winter Classic coming back to Wrigley Field. Hopefully, comes back to Wrigley Field in another year or so. Yeah. All right, number two, Patrick Kane notching 1,300 career points. So Patrick Kane notched 1,300 career points in the Red Wings 4-2 win over the Washington Capitals on December 29th. So he had a goal and an assist to reach the milestone. And the Red Wings at that time had snapped their 4-game losing streak because, of course, the Red Wings were doing terrible. I think the seventh in the Atlantic Division as of right now. I'm not 100% sure. And Todd McClellan, he got his first win as head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. And you take a look at Patrick Kane's career stats so far, 1,301 points in 1,262 games played. 478 goals, 823 assists for 1,260. I mean, 478 goals, 823 assists for 1,301 points in 1,262 games played for Patrick Kane. Uh, I kind of didn't put that on there, but just looked up on my phone and saw the stats. And the Red Wings, like I mentioned, not having the best year so far. So, yeah, but Patrick Kane getting that milestone is certainly great to see as a Blackhawks fan. So, yeah, miss him on the Blackhawks, though. Wish he was still playing for Chicago. I did see that Jonathan Toews might possibly come back to the NHL. So, if he does, that'll be great because obviously miss Tasia. Of course, he's in Indiana. I mean, not Indiana, India. He's in India. And he's not currently playing. He hasn't announced that he's retired. He's just in India, excuse me, taking a break from the NHL. So, all right, number three, Sidney Crosby passing Mario Lemieux in most assists in Penguins history. So Sidney Crosby had passed Mario Lemieux for most assists in Penguins franchise history in their 3-2 win over the New York Islanders on December 29th. So he now has 1,034 assists of his career. He is second in points with 1,636 and goals with 602 in Penguins franchise history. Obviously, the first one is Super Mario Lemieux with 1,723 points and 690 goals. So Sidney Crosby trying to move up the ranks on the rank board for in Penguins franchise history, and obviously, no doubt in mind, he is going to be a Hockey Hall of Famer when it's said and done for Sid the Kid. He's had a great career so far. A 3-time Stanley Cup champion, 2-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner. I believe he's one of Art Ross. I think he's one of Maurice Rocket-Richard as well. So he's had a great career up until this point, and definitely going to miss him when he's retired from the NHL. Number four, Kevin Lankinen sets the record for the first goaltender in NHL history to win 10 consecutive road games to begin the season. So that was back on December 1st, 2024, and the Canucks won 5-4 in overtime against the Detroit Red Wings. Jake DeBrusk had a hat trick in that game, and you take a look at Kevin Lankinen's 2024-25 season stats with the Canucks. He is 14-6-4 with a 2.58 goals against average and a .908 save percentage. He's had 3 shutouts this season, and he will be representing Team Finland for the upcoming 2025 NHL Four Nations Face-Off event that will be taking place in February. He's had a great season, like as you see so far with the Vancouver Canucks. He's had a great season with Nashville last year before the Predators got eliminated by the Canucks in the 2024 Stanley Cup playoffs. But other than that, I can't wait to see what he does in the Four Nations face-off, and hopefully he continues to shine in Vancouver. I know they got Thatcher Demko back, but when Thatcher Demko was out with a injury, Kevin Lankinen was the starting goaltender, and he was terrific in that. He's still terrific in that for Vancouver. So can't wait to see where the Canucks finish. I believe they'll probably make it to at least the second round, just like they did last year in the playoffs against before they got eliminated by the Oilers. I think last year they finished first in the Western Conference and first in the Pacific Division. So see if they do it again this season before the NHL season is over with. All right, so number 5, Andre Vasilevsky playing in his 500 career NHL game, and the Lightning won 8-3 against the Flames back on December 12th when he played in his 500 career NHL game, and he made 19 saves in the win, and he became the first Lightning goaltender to play in 500 career NHL games. Taking a look at his stats with the Tampa Bay Lightning this season, he is 16-10-1 with a 2.39 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. He's had 2 shutouts this season as well. Taking a look at his career stats, he is 309, 153, and 31 with a 2.56 goals against average and a .917 save percentage. 36 shutouts in his career. A 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's won it in 2020 and 2021, doing the back-to-back Stanley Cup championships for the Lightning. He won the Conn Smythe Trophy in 2021, becoming the first goaltender since Jonathan Quick, and I think Jonathan Quick won in 2012 to win a Conn Smythe Trophy, and he's also won a Vezina Trophy back in 2019. So he's had a great career for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's played all his seasons with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and one of the best goaltenders in the NHL to watch. All right, number 6. So still staying with that Flames and Lightning game on December 12th. Nikita Kucherov, he had a 6-point night in that game, and he had a goal and 5 assists to do it. And he tied the Lightning record for single game for most points in a single game in Lightning franchise history. Of course, Doug Crossman did it on November 7th of 1992. Nikita Kucherov did it on November 24th of 2023. So this is his second time doing it. And Braden Point got it done on March 14th of 2024. Take a look at Nikita Kucherov's stats with the Lightning this season. He has 54 points in 32 games played, so 17 goals, 37 assists for 54 points in 32 games played. Taking a look at his career stats, he has 927 points in 757 games played, so 337 goals, 590 assists for 927 points in 757 games played. He's third all-time in points, second in assists, 4th in goals, and 6th in games played. He is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Lightning, of course, in 2020, 2021. A 2-time Art Ross Trophy winner, won in 2019, and most recently being 2024. He's won the Hart Memorial Trophy 2019. Of course, that goes out to the MVP of the season for the NHL. And the Ted Lindsay Award, he won it in 2019 as well. All right, number 7, Mackin Brady's homecoming debut in Vancouver. So obviously didn't go out the way that he expected. Of course, the Sharks lost 4-3 in that game to the Canucks, but he did manage to have 2 assists for a 2-point night. So not too bad of a performance coming back to your hometown. And Mackin Brady had 24 minutes and 11 seconds of time on ice, 23 shares and 5 shots on goal. His brother, Aiden Celebrini, got drafted by the Vancouver Canucks. He's not playing for them as of the moment. He's playing his college hockey at Boston University, but he got drafted by the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm pretty sure he was in the stands cheering on his brother in his homecoming debut for the Canucks. And just take a look at Mackin Celebrini stats from this season. 27 points in 28 games, so 12 goals, 15 assists for 27 points in 28 games played this season. He was named November Rookie of the Month, and he's second in points behind Mateev Michikov, who I believe will win the Calder Memorial Trophy. And he's tied in goals with Mateev Michikov with 12 goals, so both of them has 12 goals of the season. So, like I said, not all a bad debut back in Vancouver for Mackin Celebrini. Obviously, I wish he would have scored against the Canucks and the Sharks would have came out with the win, but it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, not that much, not bad of a debut for Mackin Celebrini. All right, number 8, Lane Hutson's December stats. So, of course, As you guys didn't know, the NHL named Lane Hutson December Rookie of the Month, and he had 13 points in 14 games in the month of December. So 2 goals, 11 assists for 13 points in 14 games played in the month of December. Taking a look at his stats from this season: 26 points in 37 games played, 2 goals, 24 assists for 26 points in 37 games played. He's third in points and first in assists. So not really seeing him score that much. Obviously, defensemen don't score as much as the forwards do, obviously. But hopefully, before the season wraps up on April 17th, we could see some more goals from Lane Hudson. But other than that, he's doing really good. One of the top 3 rookies in the Calder Trophy race. Of course, the other 2 being Matej Michikov and Macklin Celebrini. Number 9, the Scott Lawton Bowl. So Scott Lawton, he scored all 4 goals in the Flyers' 4-1 win over the Red Wings back on December 12th. He also passed 100 goals for his career at that time. He currently has 103 goals in his career, 8 goals this season. And the Flyers, they outshot the Red Wings 36-26 in that game. And it was the first 4-goal game by Flyers since John LeClair got it done on October 15th of 2002. So, like as in my years of watching hockey, I never seen an NHL player score all 4 goals in a game for his team. So this is the first time that I'm seeing it. Of course, John LeClair, like I said, got it done on October 15th, 2002. But for me, first time seeing somebody score all 4 goals in one game for your team. And number 10, Vegas Golden Knights December record. So the Golden Knights had a December to remember. It kind of rhymed, by the way. But they had a December to remember. They were 10-0 through the month of December, and they were on a 6-game winning streak before losing to the Canadiens on New Year's Eve, which the final score is 3-2 in that game. The Golden Knights are currently 25-9-3 of the season with 53 points, first in the Pacific Division and second in the Western Conference. So they're having a great season so far. They certainly had a great December to wrap up 2024. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. So, of course, Happy New Year to you guys. Leave a comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the TG Hockey channel. Make sure that you're following the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on all your podcast stream platforms. So it airs on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And it's from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like I said, there was no episode today because it was New Year's Day. So I will see you guys Friday for another episode of Hockey Talk with TG Podcast. And like I said, make sure that you subscribe to the TG Hockey channel as well. And that's going to do it for me. And I'll see you guys next time.